As much as you'd like to think they're going to come back only because you're like the coolest thing ever or whatever it is, price is important. I mean, you have to be there on price. My name is Bryce Phillips, and I am the founder of Evo. I've been buying and selling stuff since I was basically a kid. It didn't feel like a big risk because I kind of knew what I was buying and I thought I knew what I was going to sell it for. And there was actually pretty good history I could see, when I studied the channels, like looking at eBay in particular, what was stuff selling for, and what was I buying it for? Was there margin in there? From an expense, perspective, there's almost no risk at all except for inventory. Because outside of that, like I said, I had an internet line, paid like $50 a month, had a cell phone, and there really wasn't a lot of kind of fixed costs or even variable costs with the business because I was kind of doing it all at that point in time.
Our pricing strategy used to consist of, so for an example, our first sale that I ever manned, I was hanging out with Bryce, and we didn't have prices on any of our items even. The prices all lived in Bryce's head, and he was just winging them out. So yeah, our pricing from what it started at has evolved quite a bit. Now we actually post a price for every item. My name is Nathan Decker. I'm the senior human of e-commerce at Evo. I think there are certain price points that we've identified through looking at different reporting that we feel like customers are comfortable with. $99, $199, $299, $259. Those certain price points you see, if you look at a report that shows kind of all the different prices that were purchased, and they kind of see where there are clusters around certain price areas, and that's how they end up evolving their pricing.
I'm one of them, but many people are going to want the kind of latest technology when it comes to the equipment they use for the sports they really, really love. That's kind of like their indulgent thing, is like getting the newest thing, and price is important. If you're doing a frugal search and you're trying to look at, the top 8 competitors and what they've got for a certain product, if there's a big disparity there, they're probably not going to check you out.
To price shop is a huge effort. Locally at a brick and mortar shop, but online it's like you can cruise around and there are shopping comparison websites and there's all kind of information out there that will get you to the same item for the lowest price. Pricing in our store it's exactly the same as it is online. The difference is that we offer different inventory online than we do in the store. We're one of the bigger, if not the biggest seller of used equipment online, used ski and snowboard equipment. Particularly ski is an area that we really seem to own. And so our pricing there, a lot of times we are the only people that offer a particular SKU in the used category. And so the great thing about that is that we're not confined. We're not really we don't have to get into the price matching and price war game. We just need to make sure that whatever price we're selling it at is valuable for the customer. So, and with our used product, I think we've always been able to find really good price points that our customers are stoked on. The pricing for a new product is actually the same. You'll find it the same at every competitor as well. The stuff from last year, the old stuff, the closeouts, the outlet inventory, that really is primarily on our website only. And that's where you see a lot of fluctuation in pricing, where prices move a lot and are more dynamic and more changing. Because that inventory it's outdated. Manufacturers aren't making it anymore, and so it has a kind of a limited life cycle, and there's more competition on that particular set of inventory. So we have a 5% price match guarantee. So we're always either on or below the price of our competitor.
And what website did you want to price match? We take their price and we match it and beat it by 5%. So it looks like if they have it for $99.95, if we beat that by 5%, your total should come to $95, which is pretty sweet.
We're at a point now where we've offered this 5% price match guarantee. But to be perfectly straightforward, it's not something that customers always use. And so last week, for example, we had probably a dozen price matches that came through over thousands of orders, So it's not like it's used, and I think customers use it selectively, but it's not something that is massively used or adopted for every single order or anything like that. So I think there are other ways that customers are finding value for what we offer with regard to a better customer experience, with regard to on-time delivery, setting clear expectations that are met, and mainly matching customers up with the right items so that they're really happy with what they get. So I think there are other ways that we can add value that take the focus off price, but price has to be one of the main focuses. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the marketing plan for holiday, because I don't know how clued in you are for that plan.
Sure.
The cadence of the marketing calendar looks a little bit like we're going to do the Rocker promo from now through the next 2 or possibly
Nice.
2.5 weeks. After that, we're going to run with the outlet, like basically a site-wide outlet sale. So it's the time of year where pricing is a little more
What date is that
sensitive.
outlet sale going to start?
It'll start, well, like basically 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So, and then it'll run. That one's going to run for like a month.
You know, this company was built on, you know, opportunistic like purchases and selling closeouts. We're very good at it. You know, we can get way better, but we have done it since the very beginning. And now moving into the future and looking strategically at the next few years, it's like, where do you want to be? It's like, yeah, sure, we want to grow the inline side of the business. We want to sell the newest, coolest thing. But our core competency has been, you know, closeouts and, you know, the off-price type stuff, the discounted stuff, and we're going to continue to really ramp that up.
It seems like it's like we talk about access a lot and making the sports accessible and trying to be accessible. Like it's really easy to put off this persona of like, you know, being too cool or like, I don't know, kind of having like a better than you kind of feel. And so I think that whole access perspective, we talk about giving access to the sports. That has to do with attitude, it has to do with style, it has to do with also with price. It's just not realistic for everyone to be able to afford some of this equipment. And so if we can offer better price points and get more people participating in these sports, that's fantastic. Getting people out there on the mountain enjoying life, that's what it's about.